Hi everyone, it's Bobbie at the Paper Jungle. Sorry for the voice. We've all been sick at our house, but I am better, on the mend. I have been working on the inserts for my album that I showed a few days ago. I think 5 or 6 days ago I shared with you this album that I was still needed to make inserts for, and I've been working on the inserts and doing a tutorial on them. I have several of them here I've been working on, but I needed some greenery, and I thought while I was making this, I got to coughing so bad yesterday I had to stop the video. But in the meantime, I decided to make some greenery to go on some of the inserts. So I thought, well, I would pop on and hopefully I could quit coughing long enough to share with you how I'm making these. Now these I'm going to add some Nouveau Crystal Glaze to. Just it gives them strength and a little bit of shine. So I'm going to move this aside and show you what I did this morning. What I did was I cut a piece of cardstock in half, a 5.5, and that'll fit inside my big shot. And then I laid this out and I used the blue Distress Oxide of Broken China, and then the red I used Fired Brick, and I just put small areas where I knew these were going to land. And then I just used, let me see what I used. Bundled Sage. This one is Peeled Paint. Let's see this one. This one is Spice Marmalade. And the last one is Walnut Stain. And I just daubed them in there, and then I laid my dye down and I cut them out. So that's what it looks pretty mottled and yucky when you before you cut it out, but it turns out really sharp. And I just thought I would share that with you guys in case you have dyes that you're not using a whole lot. See what you can accomplish with them. And just using some scraps of paper. Now this is a cheap cardstock. I don't use my artisan for stuff like this. Now here's how one of the green one turned out, and it's got a little of the blue on it and a little of the red up there. Let's see what the blue flower turned out like. There's that one. They just turn, every one of them turns out different each time, because as you color your paper, it's never the same. So each time it turns out different. Oh, that one's pretty. I like all the orange on it. Get this one loose. Whoops. Let me flip it over. To see how differently they all turn out. So I thought we would do one together, just so that you can see. Now I have these dyes that they're a generic dye that I don't have a brand name on them, anything like that. Let me get another. This is just cheap cardstock that's 8.5 by 11. Let me lay these aside with the others. And after I add the Nouveau Glaze, I'll come back and show you how they all turned out before I put them on any project. So if you lay this out, this is the only one that has a flower in it. And maybe I should do this flower yellow. This is Antique Linen. Let's try that, see how it turns. It might be too light. I need to get another spongy doodle. Let me get a clean one out of here. I think I've got a few left that I hadn't used. Okay, so I know it's going to be right in here, so I'm just going to scoop this down. I'm just going to use my hand. And I'm thinking I might not like this. It might be too light. It's kind of blotchy. I might want to add orange to it, because I'm not liking that. That's too light. let's put this back. And let's do the spice marmalade. Put that over the top of it. Probably should have put it on one of the little dauber things, but I didn't. But it'll be okay. See if that's enough of an area. Yes, that's plenty. Okay. So now I'm just going to take my dauber, and I don't do very good with it. It always leaves circle marks for some reason, and I start off the edge like they tell you to, but see how it's always darker around the edge, and I just go from one color to the next and just blend them together, because that's how they grow in nature. It's not one leaf all one color. Look how dark that was there. That's just a really juicy. A really juicy ink pad. And on one of them, after I inked it, I lightly spritzed it with water, and I don't think you're going to be able to tell the difference if I hold it up to the camera, which I can do, but you may be able to tell more of a difference after I put the Nouveau glaze on it. Let's get some more walnut here. And I know it looks really messy and blotchy right now, but you can't tell it when you cut the leaves. It doesn't show up like that at all. It's wanting to spin on me. I think I've gone far enough to the right. It gives you a lot of lights and darks this way, which that's how things look in nature. And it's as messy as it can be. And add some orange in here and there. I think that's more than enough. Make it a little bit more green down here. And let's see what we got. Okay, I have got it cut far enough, so I'm just going to trim off this excess so it'll fit in my die machine, and I will cut it out and I'll be right back so you can see how it looks. Okay, I took them off the die machine and these two immediately popped right out, so that's how those two look. And then I'll take the others out. Here's this one, and the flower. See how pretty that turns out, and the colors are so varied. Did I drop the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch, it's stuck on the cutting mat. There it is, there's the last one. See the difference in colors, how it's varied? That's the way they grow in nature. It's just so pretty like that. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now, I'm just using a generic die set that I've got, and there was 15 of them in a set, and they're linked 5 on each piece, and I just keep them together that way. It makes it easier to ink, because if you cut each one of these out, imagine how hard it is to ink each one of these little stems and leaves and petals without breaking them and bending them. So for me, it was easier to do it this way. It's a little bit of waste of cardstock, but I'd waste that much cutting them out before I ink them anyway. So I'm going to apply the Nouveau glaze to these and let them dry, and then I'll be back and show you how they look when they're done. Hi everyone, I'm back. I have got them all colored and the Nouveau glaze on them, and they're all nice and dry. So I just wanted to share with you how they look, and you can see there's just a little bit of a shine. What I like to do is take a piece of parchment or wax paper and squirt a little bit of the Nouveau glaze out. It's this one here, Nouveau Crystal Glaze, and it is available at Country Craft Creations. And I squirt a little puddle of it out, and I just turn them upside down and just dip them in and then lay them on a piece of parchment paper. I find it's a lot easier that way than trying to take the bottle and go leaf by leaf. I tend to get too much and it runs over the edge, and then they're real goopy. So this way they come out nice and even and smooth. You can see that. See how nice they are? And I don't have to worry. Can you imagine what it would be like if you cut them out first of white and then had to try to ink each little petal individually? It'd be horrible. Or, well, it'd be very tedious, not horrible. But even if you don't have dies that are connected like this, ink your paper up and lay several dies out at once and cut them all together. They don't have to be attached like this. These just happened to come that way and I didn't take them apart. But I'll be finishing my video tomorrow on the inserts for the Mintay Botany album, and you'll be able to see how I use a lot of these embellishments. But I'll be making some more, and if you guys would like to see more tutorials on how to make your own embellishments and inserts, just leave a comment below and I'll be glad to do that for you. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.